Hey guys, so it is our phonics time, and today we're going to look at words in sentences. So I have some sentences on the board, and I'm going to read them to you, okay? So we're going to look at these first two sentences in blue. The actor took a bow. Lee tried a bow in her hair, okay? And so I want you to read those sentences again with me. The actor took a bow. Lee tied a bow in her hair. Okay, so I want you to look at the word B-O-W. If you noticed, they are both in our sentences. So what do you notice about both of those words? So I want you to think about that for a minute. Okay. So you may have said, well, Miss Santa, that both of those words are spelled the same. They are. So they are spelled the same. So, but the meaning of the words are different. And they're pronounced differently. This is pronounced bow, and this is pronounced bow. So it's the same word, but that same word has two different meanings and can sound different. So this bow means like to take a bow. So when you see actors and they kind of bow and to thank the crowd or and then this one is like bow, like a bow you put in your hair, or like when you tie a bow on a present. So we need to make sure that it's important to check and make sure the word sounds right in the sentence, okay? So if I were to say, the actor took a bow, does that sound right? The actor took a bow? Or if I would say, Lee tried a bow in her hair, does that sound right? So when we are using words that are spelled the same, they look the same, but have a different meaning and can be pronounced different, we have to make sure that we're using it in the sentence correctly for it to make sense. So let's look at the next two sentences that are in purple. We live close to the school. Please close the door. So I have close and close. So if you notice, they are spelled the same. They look the same. They have two different meanings. So close means how near your position to something. So either if you're far away or you're close to it. And close means I'm going to close the door. Okay, so they are pronounced different. Because if I were to say we live close to school, that wouldn't sound right. Or if I were to say please close or please close the door. So they are pronounced differently in the way we use them in a sentence. Okay, let's look at these last two that are in the light blue. The dove flew by. She dove into the pool. So dove and dove. Dove, they're talking about the bird, the white bird, the dove. Dove is where you're swimming and you dive into something, or you dove in, you went into the water. So guys, words that look the same are spelled the same but have two different meanings and can be pronounced differently depending on how we use them are called homographs. So I'm going to write that up here. So these are called homographs. Okay. And so a homograph are words that look the same but have different meanings and usually sound different. These words are called homographs. Okay. So the word homo means same and graph means spelling. So same spelling. Okay, so they have the same spelling, but they have different meanings and can be pronounced differently depending on how we use them. So let's go back to our Elmo and let's kind of look at some different words that have different meanings and are pronounced differently when we use them in a sentence. Okay, so we are going to use some words and we're going to write sentences and show you how they look the same, they're spelled the same. Sometimes they sound different when you say them, but they have different meanings. So for instance, this word, tear, and it can also be tear. Like, there's a tear in my eye. Okay. Oh, forgot to tell y'all, you have this handout. It says Phonics Tuesday. There's a front and a back. It looks the same. So I want you to grab it, and you're going to, in the first two boxes up top, copy the sentences. And I'm going to go ahead and draw the picture. You can draw the pictures with me, or you can draw the pictures later. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to draw this person. I'm going to draw some tears. Okay, so T-E-A-R is tear. It also can be tear. My paper has a tear in it. Okay, so here's my paper. And here's the tear. Okay, so T-E-A-R is tear. There's a tear in my eye. Excuse me. And it can be tear. My paper has a tear in it. Okay. Wind, W-I-N-D, or wind. So the vowels are kind of different. What it has the short e, and wind has the long. So has the I. Wind. Wind. So this is wind, like the wind is blowing. The wind is blowing. And I can kind of draw like a tree. And kind of this is the wind. You really can't see the wind blow, but it's kind of lines to show the wind. And then wind, W-I-N-D, spelled the same, looks the same, but we say the I, we say the long vowel. And that's talking about like, did you wind the clock? Or actually, did you wind the toy? Sometimes you have those little toys. Supposed to be a little duck. Maybe little feet. And over here it has this little winding thing. So did you wind the toy? Did you wind him up? When you wind him up, he moves across the thing. Okay? So W-I-N-D, when you're using it like the wind is blowing, we say wind. If we're talking about winding something up where you're twisting, did you wind the toy? Okay? So for what I want you to do is you're going to turn it over on the back. We have two words, duck, D-U-C-K, like the animal. So duck, like, or duck, which is the animal. Okay, and this duck is like duck, so something doesn't hit you. Duck, so you don't get hit. Okay, so I want you to write a sentence for each one of these ducks. So you're going to write a sentence with duck where it talks about the animal, and you're going to write a sentence with this duck where you duck so you don't get hit, and draw the picture. So I have live, which is in real life, something that's happening in real life. So I went to a live concert. The weatherman is live on TV. So happening in real life. And you don't have to write what I'm writing here. It's just to help you understand. Or real life. Live. So I have live and live. Something that's alive. Or live. How do I explain that? Live. Like he lives in Texas. So where live. So I have live, like real life, something that's going on in real life. Live, and then you have live, or live and live. Okay, I'm trying to think of what I could put here to give you a hint. So live, which is going on in real life. Or going on now. And then live is kind of like, I'm gonna look how would I explain that live? Let's see. I'm trying to figure out how I would explain that to you. So live is like, I would just kind of make a sentence of something that has to do, we live like somewhere where you're at. Okay. Oh, and my lights are going out. Okay, so write a sentence and draw a picture. I can't wait to see what kind of sentences and pictures you come up with.